Welcome to Inspiration Rising. My name is David Trotter. I'm a business and life transformation coach dedicated to inspiring women and the men who support them to rise up in life, love, and business. I've got an exciting conversation that I want to walk you through today, but I want to begin by reading the Inspiration Rising Manifesto. This is something that I wrote last year in a desire to communicate the values of your identity and help you embrace your true identity. If you don't have one of these little cards that I'm holding in my hand right now, I want to invite you to go to insporising.com/manifesto and put your address in there, and I'll mail one to you, no matter wherever you are in the world. All right, let me read it to you. If you haven't ever heard it before, it's actually the basis of my new book, Empowered to Rise, as well. I take each sentence of the manifesto and break it down in a separate chapter. I'll read it to you. It says, "My life has been inspired from the moment of conception. I am whole and complete just as I am. I don't have to do or be anything else to be loved. This is my true identity. Embracing my inspiredness, I am discovering my unique way to bring inspiration to the world. My life story, wiring, and strengths are my superpowers, and I'm learning to use them with others for the sake of others. I have access to all the resources I need to live out my inspiration, and I will be strong and courageous in the face of any challenge. My inspiration is rising." And so if you want to get that, I encourage you to go to insporising.com/manifesto, fill in your address, and I'll be happy to mail you a copy. All right, well, today's question is, if or because? If or because, which word drives your life? Now, you've probably never even thought about that before, okay? Let's think about it for a moment. The word if or because. Which word drives your life? One of those words is waiting for something to happen. Yes, one of them. The other word is embracing what already is. One of those words is waiting for something to happen. Hint, hint, it's the word if. The other word, because, is embracing what already is. Now, I know because you are listening to this podcast and you're part of the Inspiration Rising community that you are wanting to grow and learn and become a better and better person, right? You're pursuing goals. You have a vision for your life. You've got a purpose. You're going after it. You're saying, hey, nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm excited about life. I'm here to learn and grow. And you probably have some things that you want to accomplish, things that you want to experience, things that you want to do in life. And yet, with those goals that you have, there is a word that can oftentimes hold you back. It's the word that's waiting for something to happen. All right, I've got all these hopes and dreams, but if I had more money, yes, if I had more money, well, then I could move forward, or then I could do it more quickly, or then I could hire somebody to do that part. I've got all these hopes and dreams and desires, but I don't know if I could just find my purpose, if I could just find that God-given purpose, that one thing that I'm supposed to do with my life. Yeah, you ever said that before? Maybe you've said, if I could only get a better job. Yeah, a better job would make me feel better. I'd be more happy for my husband and my kids. If I could only get a better job, then I could have the life that I wanted. If I only had the time. Yeah, I've got things that I want to do. I want to clear out the clutter in my house. I want to learn how to cook maybe a little healthier. I want to get back in shape. I want to get that better job. I want to cultivate a better marriage. I want to have some more friendships. But if I only had the time, if I only had the time, I would do something courageous in this world if I was not afraid of what people would say. Man, if I was just courageous and if I wasn't afraid of what people would say, I would be out there doing all kinds of things. Man, I would be starting a new business. I'd be creating a clothing line. I'd be standing up for injustices. Would you? Yeah, the word if only. If I were younger. Oh, if I were younger, I'd have more energy. If I could just meet the right people. If my health wasn't so bad. If my boss would appreciate me. If people just understood me. If they understood what was going on inside of me, then I would feel like I could move forward. If only I had someone to help me. I feel like I'm all alone. I just don't know what to do. If I just had somebody to help me, then I could move forward. If only I were not so fat. Now, I know that's a trigger word, right? The F word. But think about it. How many of us think about the extra weight, right? Or the maybe it's not extra weight. Maybe it's just our bigger bodies, right? Who knows? Maybe we use that word in our head. If I weren't so fat, then I'd wear a swimsuit to the beach. If I weren't so fat, then I'd get that new outfit of clothes that I want. If I weren't so fat, I'd be more sexually intimate with my partner. If I weren't so fat, I would feel better and I'd be able to move forward and I'd be able to start that business and people wouldn't want to buy. If my husband wasn't holding me back, then I could actually go out and do what I really want to do in life. If I only had a business of my own, if I wasn't working for this boss or this company and I could finally do what I want to do, then things would be okay. If I didn't have to work so many hours, yeah. If I lived in a bigger city, then I'd have more opportunities. And then somebody else might say, well, if I just lived in a small town or a rural area or out in the country, then I could get concentrated on the book that I wanted to write or the paintings that I wanted to produce or, if my family would just support me, if I could just catch a break, if I had been born rich, if only I could get out of debt, if I could just get started. Yeah, how many of you have said that? If I could just get started, then I would be able to get going with this goal that I've got going. Some others of you say, well, if I could just keep going, I can get started, but if I could just keep going, if I could just be diligent and determined and have some grit. Others of you say, well, if I could just finish what I started, man, yeah, I can get started, but halfway through, toward the end, I just can't finish. Man, if I could only finish what I started. Now, how many of these if statements, I've gone through quite a few, how many of these relate to you? Are there any other ones that you think of as I'm going through these if onlys? If only I was younger, smarter, prettier, thinner, more educated, if I only, yeah. Well, here's the truth. If you are waiting, hoping, and wishing for something to happen in your life before you take action or before you actually go after your dreams, you may be waiting until you die. You may be waiting until the end of your life if you're just hoping, wishing, waiting for something to happen. Here's what I wish you would do. Here's what I wish all of us would do is if only we could have the courage to see ourselves through the eyes of the divine. Now that's a good if only statement, right? If only you could have the courage to see yourself through the eyes of the divine, you would see that you're already loved, that you're already whole, that you're already complete, that you're already enough, that you don't have to do or be anything else to be loved or enough. Why? Because that is your true identity. That is the core of who you are. And when you come from that place of enoughness, knowing that that is how the divine sees you and embracing that in your life, now the if-onlys can start to fade away because you're not operating out of a place of lack, not operating out of a place of not enoughness, not operating out of a place of fear or anxiety or worry. No, you have the courage because you see yourself through the eyes of the divine. Now, if only you could see that you have access to all the resources you need. Oh, if only. If only you could see that you have access to all the resources you need. You may not be able to start that big restaurant right now, but what would it look like if you just opened up a little pop-up cafe once every weekend around your home or in somebody else's business that maybe is closed on that particular time frame? I was working with a client the other day. She has a vision for opening up a bed and breakfast someday. And she's like, man, I can't do that right now because of the age of my kids and money and all this stuff. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. You have access to all the resources you need. What would it look like to start now, but just start a little smaller? What would it look like to have weekend retreats where you're hosting people based around a theme? What would it look like to host hikes and outdoor activities that you would normally want to do, or equine therapy that you would be wanting to do at this bed and breakfast? What would that look like? Why? Because you have access to all the resources you need in order to live out your inspiration starting right now. Yeah, sometimes we have a really big vision, which is wonderful, but if we don't see how we can actually take advantage of resources that are in our hands or one step away, we will go to our grave with this big dream in our head without actually taking action. You have access to finances, physical resources, supplies, relationships. They may not be in your home or in your hand at the very moment, but they're one step away. The universe will begin to bring resources your way when you begin to commit to the vision that is within you. When you say, yes, this is what I want to do. I'm committed to moving forward. I'm going to figure out how to do this. I'm telling you, the universe will begin to show up with money and resources and all kinds of relationships that you would have never dreamed of and never had access to unless you stepped out and committed yourself to the vision that's in your heart. So if only you could have the courage to see yourself through the eyes of the divine. If only you could see that you have access to all the resources you need. And if only you could toss out all of those ifs in your life and start living from the powerful place of because. So I want to invite you to do something a bit courageous, a bit creative as well. I want to lead you through a visualization to toss out all those ifs and start living from a powerful place of because. So let's do this. Let's just take a couple of deep breaths. You may want to go ahead and close your eyes and join with me in this moment. Go ahead and breathe in with me. And out. One more in. And out. I want you to envision all of those ifs that are swirling around in your brain. As you see them in your mind, maybe just imagine them all clumping together in this big ball of messy ifs, and just see yourself swallowing them. I know it's a little unique, but just swallowing them down into the middle of your chest. And that all of those ifs are now just resting right in the middle of your heart. And take a moment and feel all of those anxieties and worries and stresses that are the reason why those if-onlys exist. The anxiety of not being enough, the anxiety of not being able to do what you want to do, and the if-onlys are the result coming out of your mouth, allowing you to have an excuse of holding back. See all of those if-onlys right there in your heart. And now imagine them just compressing in, and then just disintegrating, flowing away from your body, out of your chest, into the atmosphere. That all of those ifs have been disintegrated into microscopic specks of anxiety and worry and just floating away from you, out of your heart. And then bring your hands back over your chest and hold close the word because. Hold it close. Hold it close, knowing that you can do anything in this life, that the opportunities and possibilities are unlimited because you are loved by the divine. Because your life is inspired, literally, that Spirit has been breathed into you by the divine. As you hold your hands to your chest, clutching the word because, holding it tight inside your heart, that you're reminded that because you are whole and complete, you can live out this vision, this hope, this dream that's within you, because you don't have to do or be anything else to be loved or enough. Because you are embracing your true identity. Because you are discovering your unique way to bring inspiration to the world. Yeah. Not if you can find your purpose. No. But because you are discovering your unique way to bring inspiration to the world, you can live out your hopes and dreams. Because your life story, your wiring and strengths are your superpowers, you are empowered to move forward. Because you are a lifelong learner, you'll never quit learning. You'll always be open. That's a strong because statement. Because you have access to all the resources you need. And because you are strong and courageous. Hold on to that word because right now in the middle of your heart, knowing that all the ifs have come down out of your mind and have disintegrated into microscopic little bits of worry and anxiety pushed away from you. If you want to go ahead and slowly open your eyes. Now, because of all of these things, because of all those because statements, you can get unstuck and start dreaming again. Yeah, it's possible. Because of all this, these powerful statements, you can cultivate intimate relationships with other people, including a partner. You can expand your side hustle into a full-blown business. You can get that job that you've been wanting. You can navigate your way through cultivating a positive relationship with your kids, no matter how old they are. You, because of all of these reasons, you can deal with those coworkers or neighbors who are driving you absolutely crazy. Yes, you can. Yeah. And because of all of these things, because you're loved, you're inspired, you're whole, you're complete, you're a lifelong learner, you have access to all the resources you need, because you're strong and courageous, you can expand your business. Maybe right now it's 5 figures a year and you want to expand it to 6. Maybe it's 6 figures. You want to get to multiple 6 figures. Maybe it's multiple 6 figures and you want to get to 7 figures. Yeah. If you're using ifs, these if-onlys in your life, you're waiting around for something to happen. You're hoping, you're wishing, you're waiting, and oftentimes it doesn't come unless you take responsibility, 100% full responsibility for where you are in life and where you want to move forward. And the word that will empower you to move forward is the word because. It embraces what already is. It doesn't wait for what could be. It's saying, well, because of what I have in my hand, because of who I am empowered to move forward. Yeah, you are. You don't want to live with the word if driving your life. You want to live with the word because, reminding you of what already is and how you're already empowered to move forward and do great things in your life. So I want you to think for a moment. What are those ifs or if-only statements that you tend to go to in your brain? You've probably already been thinking about them. Maybe you want to write them on the one side of a sheet of paper, the left side. And then on the right side, maybe with a line down the middle, you want to write on the right side your because statements. What are the because statements that I said today in this conversation that you resonated with? Man, I need to embrace that because statement. Or maybe it's a different statement that's flowing from your heart right now and you need to capture it. Capture it on your phone, capture it on a piece of paper, capture it on a sticky note. This because statement, that if you hold on to that because statement, it will empower you and drive you to keep moving forward. You go, I can't be thinking about the if statements because I'm just going to be held back by that. I'm going to be waiting for something to happen. Right now, You can move forward. It may not be exactly as big or as grand as you hope or you want, but you can move forward somehow. Okay, you can. I promise you. If is waiting for something to happen, but because embraces what already is. That's the truth. Now, if this is getting you fired up and you're resonating with what it would look like to live a because life or to expand that business and take it to the next level, I would love to speak with you. One of the things that I specialize in is helping people get unstuck, clarify their goals, and take their life or their business to the next level. And one of the ways that I connect with people is through what I call a clarity call, helping you and me get clear about what's going on in your life and business and how I can help you take it to the next level. If you're interested in that, it's a free 20-minute call where we just chat, and at the end of the call, if I feel like it's a good fit, I may invite you into a one-on-one VIP coaching relationship where I help you take your life and or business to the next level, wherever you want to see it go. I would love to be able to help you do that. You can sign up for that at insporising.com/call. That's insporising.com/call. And if you need that link, it'll be in our show notes as well. You can swipe up on your phone and click it now. I believe in you guys. And I believe that you want to live a because life, not an if life. That those ifs, we've gone through the visualization, they have disintegrated and they are gone, pushed away from your body, and you're holding on to that word because. Hey, if this has resonated with you and this is something that you feel like a friend would be inspired by, I want to encourage you to tell them. Listen to the Inspiration Rising podcast. You can take a screenshot of this episode on your phone, text it to them, tell them, hey, open up your favorite podcast app. If they don't have one, tell them to down one on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, something like that. Or they can always listen to the podcast on our website, insporising.com/podcast. But one of the ways that you could help us and help your friends is by sharing this episode or another episode that's been helpful or inspiring to you. All right, I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And, oh, by the way, if you're interested in receiving daily inspirational text messages, text me right now, 949-401-6090, 949-401-6090. Just say, hi, Dave, or something like that. It'll kick you back an automated message, and then you'll be part of the daily text messages that I send out with inspirational quotes and all kinds of good stuff. All right? All right, love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.